Right from the beginning of this final review, I need to say one thing. The Percept is not a Vcore Pro. It's a new racket. It's a new approach from Yonex. It's something that goes hand in hand with the latest technological, let's say, development, with the latest development in tennis in general. And that's that the new tennis rackets are nowadays more oriented towards feel, touch, comfort, and the overall connection of your arm and a tennis racket. So Yonex presents this new era of a control-oriented racket by introducing, let's say, a new line of rackets. So it's not a coincidence that they have changed the name, but they also changed the DNA of the Vcore Pro series to more modern, present version of a control-oriented racket. And in today's review, we will take a closer look at the version 100 and the version 97. So guys, stay tuned for more. Hello tennis guys and welcome to my channel. So this is a final review for the Yonex Percept 197 and you might be thinking, why it took me so long. So here is the initial info about the review process, so you know how deep I went with this review. So I received these two rackets from the Sportega store I work for. I received these rackets to write a Czech review, which is already written, but it wasn't published yet. But it doesn't really matter. Maybe in this time when I'm shooting this video, the review is already out there, or maybe when you are watching this video, the review, the Czech review, is already out there. But anyway, I received these rackets for 3 weeks, so 3 weeks of testing. Each week I did play with the rackets about 4 hours. 4 hours, some of the weeks I played even longer. So in total, testing these two rackets, 3 weeks and about 12 to 15 hours with these two rackets. And there were trainings, there were matches, and everything was, let's say, a performance oriented. So no really easy hitting, or easy hitting was there present too, but I was really able, and it was really possible for me to test these rackets completely. Why I don't have these rackets right now with me? Because I always, when I'm doing the final review, I'm holding the racket in my hand. There's the little bit of a problem, because nothing is perfect, life comes with obstacles, and during the week when I planned I will shoot the review with the rackets in my hand, I got sick. And I was sick for about 7 days, so 1 whole week. And it was a plan to shoot the video during this week, because at the end of the week I had to send those rackets back. And that exactly happened. I wasn't really able to talk. It was unpleasant for me to really do anything that requires any effort or talking or thinking, because when you are sick it doesn't really feel right to do something that is important for you. So I skipped the review, I sent the rackets back, and now I'm here doing the video without holding my rackets in my hand. But I have a lot of footage, so there will be lots of footage, lots of commentary, lots of interesting situation, and I believe it will be a fantastic review. But I will talk about the Percept a little bit more, because it is so interesting if you really think about it. It is not just another stick, not at all. So first thing I noticed, or first thing that came to my mind when I heard the new name, Percept, and the new kind of approach, I was like, why is Yonex doing this? Why they are, let's say, going away from the Vcore Pro series, which is, by the way, quite young. So it was here only since 2018, let's say. So they produced 3 generations of the Vcore Pro in 5 years, let's say. So 2018 until 2023, let's say, or 22 or 21, let's say. Okay, so 3 series in such a very short period of time, because usually the companies release new rackets every, let's say, 2-3 years, the new updates, the new generations. So Yonex was quite fast with the new releases of the Vcore Pro. And if you think about the Vcore Pro series, it's a control-oriented racket for advanced and, let's say, professional tournament players, and it was always like this with the Vcore Pro. Every time you grab the Vcore Pro 197, 97D, 97H, and so on, you really felt that the racket is something really special. That when you're trying to play easy, very easy with the rackets, it quite doesn't work. You need to really put a lot of effort, and you need to be skilled to get the maximum from the rackets. But with the Percept it's changed. It changed a little bit. Or it changed quite dramatically, in my opinion. So the change to a new name means also that the racket is different. So it's not like they're changing the name just to make it look better. So when you are searching through the series from Yonex, you have E-Zone, you have Vcore, and now you have Percept. But before, when you had the Vcore Pro, it was like, what is the difference between Vcore and Vcore Pro? It's just the Pro, that the Vcore Pro is more professional, but it should play the same like the Vcore. No, they were different. But the name was similar, only with the Pro. And that maybe led to some misconception, some wrong thoughts when we were searching for a new racket from Yonex. And I believe Yonex came up with the Percept series to simplify the process when you are searching a new racket. So you have E-Zone. The E-Zone is easily recognized for easy power, stability, really easy hitting, and overall I believe the easiest experience from all of the Yonex rackets. Then you have the Vcore, a spin-oriented racket with little bit more feel, yet quite a lot of power, but mostly it is known for its spin. And now you have the Percept, and interesting that the Percept one word name sounds a lot better also when you are searching through the rackets. So E-Zone, Vcore, Percept, not something complicated like the Vcore Pro that really was confusing for some of the players. So the Percept is now also by its name known for, let's say, the perception, for the feel, for the touch, and it is advertised in this sense. And still it is a control oriented racket, but now with a tremendous comfort. So let's dive more into the detail and more into the performance of these rackets, how they feel on court, what are they capable of, what will they allow you to play, and so on and so on. And you will see some footage with my commentary, and at the end of the video I will come back and I will all sum it up for you. So guys, we are continuing in the review right now with the encore footage. So first thing I need to talk about is the string. So I've received the rackets pre-strung with the Yonex Polytour Ref in the mint color, which is the brand new color that comes in pair, let's say, with the Percept rackets. And what was interesting is that I've got it in a 1.20 millimeter or a 16 gauge. So that's a very thin string compared to the strings I usually use. I usually play with 1.28 black coat from Technifiber or 1.25 Dunlop explosive spin. And the Polytour Ref is an arm-friendly co-polyester string that gives you great control, great spin potential thanks to the 8-sided shape. So it is a shaped poly that really bites, but it has this kind of feel, touch, comfort, because it is infused with oil. So it's an arm-friendly co-polyester string, which I highly recommend. I need to be honest that at first the rackets felt to me they are
very, very soft, and I kind of felt like, is this too much, or what is it? Is the strings, or it is the frame? I didn't use a dampener for both of the strings in my first 2-hour session. It was plush, it was very soft, it was gentle, but at the same time I wasn't really sure if the comfort and the sense of the feel and the touch and the connection with the racket adds or contributes to the overall performance. But that has changed during my testing. So for the next week of testing, I've put my dampeners in both of the rackets and I suddenly felt better. So it just means that I'm a dampener guy. I use dampener, I will use a dampener, I'm used to it. For me, it feels better. The dampener also adds just a little bit weight into it. And I feel like the connection to the frame is just a little bit better. So that's just me, but you don't need to use a dampener with these rackets, not at all. When I compare them to other rackets I test from Head, Wilson, Babolat, I feel like the dampener for all the other brands, for all the other rackets, is really needed. But with these Percept rackets, I really didn't have the problem with the vibrations or anything that goes into my elbow that I don't want to have there. So if you are here for the comfort, the Percept is just outstanding. When talking about comfort, I need to talk about the new technology that is called a servo filter. So Yonex is always improving and adding new technologies into their new lines of rackets, and the Percept is not an exception. So servo filter, what does it mean? It sounds great, by the way, servo filter. So the servo filter is a thin, let's say it's a transparent film that is added between the layers of the graphite, and this film enhances the flexibility when the pressure is applied and filters out the unwanted or unnecessary vibrations, let's say. And the results of this technology are super impressive. So according to Yonex, who just tested this tech with their previous rackets and models, says that the servo filter helps to filter out the vibrations of about 60% or 60% better vibrations filtering, let's say. But what is even more impressive is that this thin transparent layer, it sounds like it is like a super easy thing, but who knows how it is done. Only Yonex knows exactly, or the patent for this technology is probably known only for Yonex, is that this transparent layer is also super fast in removing the vibration. So according to Yonex, it is 500% better. So let's say 5 times better than a pure graphite. So if you have a tennis racket that is made purely out of graphite, and we know that on the market there are rackets which are just graphite and no really special technology there. So the graphite itself is 5 times slower in filtering out the vibrations compared to the servo filter technology. And for me, it sounds pretty impressive. And I strongly believe that this is the technology that changes how I and you will feel the Percept, that you will feel the connection, you will feel the comfort, you will feel the responsiveness of those rackets, but still the rackets feel they are not stiff, but they are complete, that there is really nothing missing from them. So great thing from Yonex. So the next new technology, which is not, let's say, that advertised by Yonex, is technology called lock booster, and it is a new design to the grommets of the for the strings which go through, that enhances the ball pocketing and spin. And guys, during my testing I've had some crazy spin moments. Sometimes I felt that the racket actually spins too much. It spins a lot better compared to the Vcore Pro series. So the Vcore Pro series, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, were best suited for someone who hits rather flat, who doesn't really like to spin too much. So let's say if there is a player who wants to play the or hit the bananas like Rafael Nadal, then the Vcore Pro wasn't for him, not at all. Completely different racket compared to the pure Aero. But these Percept rackets, they spin really great compared to the Vcore Pros, and maybe the technology called lock booster adds to it. And sometimes I felt, and that's probably one of the few minuses I have with these rackets, but it's just me, it's just my style, is that sometimes I kind of felt that the spin was maybe unnatural, it was kind of too much. So when I tried myself to spin the ball, I sometimes ended with a, let's say, overspin ball. So the strings grabbed massively the ball. The ball was, in my opinion, too high, too long. Sometimes was like 2 meters behind the baseline. So the ball was really spinned like crazy, which I didn't really want to, but maybe I just need to hit my usual ordinary flatter shots and get away with the unnatural let's say spin composition of my shots, which sometimes I'm just trying like too much to do a spin in a situation where isn't really needed. So that's my little bit negative of the Percept rackets, that they are kind of trying to be maybe too different from the Vcore Pros. They are trying maybe too much to infuse the racket with all the attributes of a modern racket. So you have the precision and spin and touch and feel, and maybe this is too much. But the more I played with the racket, the less I got this feel. So it's just that there is this adjustment period, as always with new rackets, you need to go through. So guys, if you are demoing a tennis racket, and especially new models that try to be innovative, they're trying to change the line, like with the Percept. Now, if you borrow the racket for 2 hours, you might be really disappointed. Like I was a little bit at the beginning. But my 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th hour with those rackets was the best session of all the testing. Actually, the last play test of my trainings and matches with these two rackets was the best, and it was like the 12th, 13th hour with those rackets. So guys, that's quite a lot. So you need to really go through the process, and I'm always saying that it is better when you are a little bit disappointed at the beginning and suddenly it gets better and better than when you are super happy with the racket at the beginning and suddenly after some time you're discovering the dark secrets, like with the Wilson shift. So you can hear that my sparring partner Zdenek has been quite disappointed by his performance. He had a bad day, so he is screaming and shouting like crazy. You need to be used to this. I know him for some time, and I got used to it, and I also got used to the Percept rackets really well. What are the best shots with these new sticks that, by the way, they look excellent in the real life as always? So during this slice training, I really enjoyed the connection. Really, the connection is great. The feel, touch, you can do anything you want. Look at that. It is a conversation between you and the racket which flows nicely. There is no hesitation, there is no disrespect, there is no doubt, and you know, like in this case, when you make a mistake, and that's the fantastic thing of most of the Yonex rackets, how they talk to you. So if you make a mistake, you kind of know exactly what was wrong with your shot. And you, as always with Yonex rackets, you cannot blame the racket. And that's the next fantastic thing. If you know that you are holding in your hand a racket that is greatly built, with great quality control, with the modern technology, with the greatest technology innovation, you know they are made in Japan, not in China, in some factory where there are all the other rackets made. You can't blame the racket for any mistake you make, and that's fantastic. So you can purely focus on your performance. Like now you can see some of the mistakes I make, and clearly the fault is me. The clearly is not something that you would say like, oh damn, those rackets are bad, or the strings or whatever. So that's the fantastic thing. And by the way, the slice is great with both of the rackets. I would say easier is a little bit with the Percept 100, like I'm holding right now, but more precise, of course, and at some point also more punchier is with the Percept 97. But I would say that also the servo filter technology and also the thinner strings greatly helped with the power, with generating the power, which was sometimes a problem with the Vcore Pros. They felt like there is not enough power, and you need to constantly feed those rackets with your own power, but sometimes you were, let's say, tired, or you were not in your best, and those rackets were like, okay, if you are not in your best, I won't help you, it's your problem. But with the Percept, I kind of felt that they are little bit adding to the speed of the ball, to the overall power little bit more, and that's why I think that those rackets are super friendly, super easy to use right from the beginning, and there is not so much problem with the pace, let's say. When playing a match, I sometimes feel I'm tired, I'm not in the zone, I kind of have respect even of my Artengo racket, which is customized, so it's quite heavy. Let's say it's not 305 gram, but it's around 320. So sometimes I'm not in the position I can use my racket efficiently or on the full throttle, let's say. But with the Percept 100 and with the Percept 97, there was this synchronization or cooperation between those two rackets. I could change those rackets during a match. I could start with the 97, let's say, and then change the racket to the 100, and it felt seamless. So the differences are really small. You only, let's say, benefit from the Percept 97 in the precision, let's say, in the precision aspect of the racket, but all the other things they have really in common. And if you didn't watch my quality control check or test for these two rackets, they are actually super easy to use. The swing weight is very low compared to other rackets. So the Percept 100 has swing weight, or at least the racket I've measured, I've played with, has swing weight of 312, and the Percept 97 is 311. So I measured it with these strings, with the Polytour Ref 120. So it's a thinner string, lighter string. Of course, the swing weight will be a little bit lower. But if you look at those numbers, 312, the 100, and 311, 97, so those rackets feel the same in your hand. And that's great. You can't say that with many other rackets when you are testing the MP and the Pro racket of the Speed series from Head. You can't really jump from the MP to the Pro or backwards, because these two rackets have really different experience. They really feel different. The gap and the jump in the performance, in the stability, in the flexibility, and so on, is such huge that you can't switch those rackets. But with the Percept rackets, I can play with the 100 and I can switch to the 97 whenever I want. And the only benefit, or the only thing I need to kind of adjust a little bit, is the timing, the precision of my hitting, but my arm stays fresh all day long with these rackets. I don't feel any pain, no whatsoever. I don't feel any let's say I don't feel tired with those rackets. I just feel super easy, super light, confident. I'm flying on the court and nothing can really stop me. So I can even imagine I can play, I can really have both rackets in my bag, and I can switch to the Percept 100 and 97 whenever I want. And that's kind of unique. You don't have that. And that's why I also think that these rackets are super friendly for most people, not only for the advanced players, but also for the intermediate, even for the lower intermediate. And that's also something I would say new. Of course, the 100 is a little bit stiffer. The 97 is buttery, flexible, but the flexibility is not that, I would say, that kind of compromises the stability. The stability is still there, just the racket feels more buttery. But at the same time, the Percept 100, I believe the RA for the 100 is around 65, 66, so it's a medium stiff racket, and the Percept 97 is around 60 RA, or even lower, 59. Not sure about that. The info is on the Tennis Warehouse website. So these rackets work together. So they are really part of the same series. And you can feel that the DNA is there. It's built the same way. It's built to provide you with the constant same experience. And you can switch back and forth and it feels so natural. Another thing to mention is that at the beginning, at the, let's say, first half of my testing, I really loved the 100 version. I felt like the 100 offers me just a little bit more. It supports me a little bit more. It gives me more space to mishit, let's say, because of course the head is just a little bit bigger. But when I got to my last session, I fell in love with the 97, and probably the 97 would be my choice if I had to choose from these two rackets. But that doesn't mean that it is better. It just suits my game a little bit more, because nowadays, for the last couple of years, I've switched from a 100 head size to 98 of the Artengo TR960 Control Tour 16x19. So I got used to smaller head size, I got used to the better precision and the overall, let's say, more advanced feedback, and that's why I also like the 97 just a little bit more. But as I said, it doesn't mean it is a better racket. The 100 would be a king of the 100s probably. So if you want that easy, everything is like easy with the added extra, then the 100 is one of the best options for today's modern tennis. And if you want that little bit more precision, control, also probably the manooovrlbity with the 97 with the thinner beam is just a little bit better. The racket feels also quicker, and for one-hander it's a no-brainer. So if you play one-handed backhand, that you will probably love the 97 more than the 100, because it will add to the overall stability of your shots and overall, let's say, plow through. But I would not be calling 97 that it has more plow through. Like, you would be like, oh, it's a 97, it's a heavier racket, then the plow through must be higher. No, the swing weight is actually 1 point lower. So no, it's not about the swing weight, but it's about the overall kind of bite and the overall yes, it kind of feels that if you hit it right, then the smaller head is providing the ball with the extra raw power, let's say. It doesn't really mean that it must be the speed, but the kind of the weight of the ball is kind of bigger. It feels more massive compared to the rackets with bigger head size. I know that this review is really getting long, and there will be probably just few of you who got so far in this review. It's almost 40 minutes, and it will be over 40 minutes for sure before I get into the, let's say, final thoughts. But don't you think it is important to know about a racket that you are going to buy? You are going to invest your money. You will probably buy 2 of these rackets, 3 rackets, 4 rackets. When you play competition, let's say, you invest a lot of money, but not for 1 year, but for 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 years before switching to another racket. So I believe it is super important to talk about how the overall process, how I got to this conclusion. What does it take? What it is? Where is the connection between me and the racket? It's not just, I will just tell you like, great, comfort, great. What is it, great? How do you describe great? If you say great, I can say that rackets are great. All rackets are great from the manufacturers in terms of the, let's say, sensation. But how many reviewers stay with one racket for a review for 3 weeks? None. 0. Because there is too much products. There is too much going on around. But this is my hobby. I want to be thorough. I want to tell you exactly what I want. And I think that even if there is one person who goes through this review fully, then I did my job well. Even when I help one of you to get this racket and to be happy with the racket because of my review, then the review was done well and I can sleep well. So I don't like rushing things. I don't like making short videos. I don't want to show you just the best parts of the video, let's say. I can edit the video in a 5 minute, in 10 minutes. I can pick up my best shots with the racket and I can tell you, like, just buy the racket. Go ahead and buy. That's probably what the other people do when they review the rackets. But you need to also see mistakes. You need to see the whole, let's say, training, how I walk, how I feel, what is my body language, and you need to go deep because you are investing quite a lot of money. It's not a pencil you are buying, it's not a dampener you are buying. It's a lot of money for a new tennis racket nowadays, and look at that, how lovely backhand I've hit even in this awkward position. So guys, prepare for my final thoughts right now.
So to sum it up, what is the Yonex Percept? What is the philosophy behind those rackets? For whom are those rackets? Who is the customer for the new series? I will say this, and this is a bold statement. If you are more than happy with the Vcore Pro 2021, the rackets of the year, in my opinion, and I published the video on my channel, and it is one of those most successful videos on my channel, so check it out. Vcore Pro 2021, still a hell of a racket. I believe if you can get those rackets in discount, just buy them because they will last like forever. So the performance of the Vcore Pro 2021 is, I believe, in my opinion, unmatched. But if you are a user of the Vcore Pros 2021, should you upgrade? That's the question. Should you upgrade to Percept? And my answer is, if you are happy, no, don't do it. Stay with the Vcore Pro, because the Vcore Pro is, for me personally, still the pinnacle of a control-oriented racket with the highest performance. And I'm always saying this, that the performance in these rackets and so on. And what does it really mean, the performance? So in my language, the performance in a tennis racket is something that is kind of a little bit hidden beneath your skills and your effort you put into. And I also believe I wrote it in my Czech review that the Vcore Pro will never let you down, no matter how hard you swing, how good you are. There is still something left for you. You will never be, let's say, better than those rackets. The rackets constantly matches your skills no matter how good you go, how far you go in tennis. And that's the beauty of the Vcore Pro series. But it can be a little bit difficult to get really into the rackets right from the beginning, because they are not that forgiving for someone who is, let's say, on an intermediate level. But the Percept rackets, they are so user-friendly, so comfort-oriented. I did not use a dampener for the first 2-hour session with those rackets because I felt so confident. It felt so easy on the arm. So with the new technology in it, with the thin transparent layer, the film, let's say transparent film that is inserted between the graphite layers, it really does magic. It really works. So no kind of, let's say, break-in period for you. Of course, a little bit adjustment period because of the isometric head shape. Of course, that will be always for new users of a Yonex racket. But overall, everything is so smooth. Everything feels so natural. Great touch, great feel, connection with the racket, seamless, no harsh feedback. You are talking to the racket through your hand like you are having a great conversation, and it feels so great. So I'm recommending the Percept rackets for newbies, for someone who is new into the Yonex world of rackets. And it really doesn't matter for me if you are a beginner, if you are intermediate, if you are advanced, because the Percept is so well made that the 100 version will suit women, juniors, weaker players, weekend warriors, everyone who just want to have a high quality time on court no matter what. And that's the biggest difference between the Vcore Pro and the Percept. So the Vcore Pro, it's a little bit complicated with the racket to really dive in, to really get the maximum out of it, but there's the constant performance of the racket there inside. It's a little bit hidden and you need to go for it. But with the Percept, it's a complete package. There is everything. There is touch, there is feel, there is even the power that wasn't really there with the Vcore Pros. You needed to generate your own power. There is spin quite a lot, guys. Huge amounts of spin. Maybe sometimes too much even. And there is still confidence. There is still the feel that you can't miss. There is this kind of little bit of the helping hand, but it's not really too much. It's not too, let's say, sophisticated, or it's not, the racket is not more clever, let's say, than you are, I would say. So for example, comparing to the Shift series or to the Clash, you kind of feel in the Clash series and in the Wilson Shift series that the rackets are pushing you in some directions you maybe don't want to go. They are trying to improve you in some of the moments where you don't need it or where you don't want it. But the Percept is seamless. There is nothing really that is in confrontation with your style or with your feel or with your power and with your weakness. It just works so well all together. And if it was just for, let's say, for me, in my opinion, if you are someone who really has a nice touch, nice feel, who has good movement on the court, who wants to play a little bit more precise and so on, just buy the Percept. Don't really think about anything other on the market right now, in my opinion. Of course, if you are a fan of Wilson, there's always pro stuff. If you are a fan of head, there is always prestige in these rackets and so on. But if you want to try something that is, in my opinion, a point or 2 points above not only in the technological department or in the technological sense, but also in the overall build quality and the overall how the racket kind of treats you, how it communicates with you. So I believe the Percept is the pinnacle of a modern racket with a modern twist, but still it remains true to its vision to really bring you a fantastic experience on the court that is unmatched in my opinion. So at the end of the day, my final hours with the Percept 97 were probably the best hours on court this season with a new tennis racket I was reviewing. So the Percept, probably the best rackets of the 2023, guys, but I will make an extra video on it. So here you have my final opinion. This review was long, it was deep, it needed to be like that, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get the sense how the rackets are complete, how you kind of don't need now the E-Zone and Vcore if you want that touch and feel. You really don't need the other two series now, because the Percept is now so complete. It is just amazing. So thank you, Yonex, for making these fantastic rackets. They're also good looking, great looking. So the color, I really like the mint color. It is fresh, it is positive, it is elegant. It looks great in the real life, not only in the pictures, but in the real life. So it is always with the Yonex rackets that they look even better when you grab it, when you have them in your hand. You touch the paint, the finish. You can look all the details. There is no issue with the paint. Everything is top notch, on point. Everything is like art. So these are the artistic rackets you can really hang on the wall, and you can look at them all day long. So guys, if you want to try something new and you've never been into Yonex series, the Percept is the best of the best. And if you were a user of the Vcore Pro 2021 and you are thinking of buying the Percept, maybe you kind of should think twice, because if you are very happy with the Vcore Pros 2021, I believe there is no really need into upgrading to Percept, because the brutal performance is a little bit, I believe, better in the Vcore Pro series. But if you want to a little bit of the touch, the feel, the sensation, the kind of freshness, a little bit more free power, then jump to the Percept. Maybe you are tired of the Vcore Pros. I don't know, maybe you get tired during your matches. Maybe the rackets are too exhausting for you. Then of course go for the Percept. That is a natural path, that is the natural approach. And I believe Yonex is really one of those few companies that is really thinking, and you feel that when you are playing with a racket, that is really thinking in a pro player way, in a way that they are trying to make the rackets better overall as a complete package, not just adding some extra spin and extra this and this and that and making the racket like, okay, so this racket is really good in this sense, this racket is good in this sense, this racket is good in this sense, but you want a complete package, and this is like everything well mixed together, and the comfort is the added bonus that I believe really wasn't there in the previous rackets and previous generations. So guys, that's my final words. I hope you enjoyed the review, as I really enjoyed making the review, making the video, the extra video for you before the review. And I can't really wait for your feedback. How do you feel about these rackets? Because I really think these are special rackets, really special rackets. So guys, if you want to support my channel, there is always this thing. You can subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel. It will help me a lot. Then there is the super thanks button. This is the direct support, let's say, but the long-term support is always when you are watching my videos. That helps me a lot. Super thanks button. Then there is the buy me a coffee option, another direct way how to support me, and the PayPal option. And through these three options, you can write a question, you can write a message, something. And of course, if you donate me your money, I will donate you my time. So if you are donating me something, asking a question, it is guaranteed I will reply to you as best as I can. So you can ask me any question about strings, rackets, tennis shoes, tennis balls, even tennis training, tennis elbow problems, and so on. And I will do my best to help you out with that situation and with that question. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy tennis, play tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the manooovrlbity. Bye guys.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!